Buenos dias, buenos dias. And yes, crypto keeps going down. It is frustrating right now. The charts look ugly. Everyone is losing money and people are starting to blame each other. They're infighting and they're exiting the industry. They are surrendering near the bottom, which is crazy if you think about it, but also that's just how it is. And we've seen it over and over and over and over again over the past year. So nothing new on that end. It's just that people are giving into their emotions and they can't take the heat. And to be honest, I also think that if you're not able to sit through a 90% drawdown on your own portfolio, you don't deserve a 100x. That's just my personal opinion. I think you have to go through a full cycle. You have to suffer a lot in crypto because that's really what crypto is. 95% pain and suffering and 5% glory. Anyways, I hope you are not one of these. I hope that you're one of these that in the depths of the bear market are still excited about fundamentals. They're still excited about what I'm doing here, what we're doing at CryptoCito, at StakeCito, the Cito Zone, the best sources for you to learn about the interchain and the Cosmos ecosystem, because fundamentals are up only. And I said this in the last video, the price pretty much never reflects the current state of the fundamentals. Either it's severely overvalued or it's severely undervalued. And I think we're right now in severely undervalued territory, which is why I think now it's more so important to not get frustrated and angry when people talk about being bullish on fundamentals, which is what I am, right? I'm a perma bull on fundamentals because I talk to teams all the time. I have calls with teams every single day for the past 7 years. So I know that who's building, what they're building, and how committed they are, right? Anyways, that's just my personal assessment. Also, if you can see maybe in the background, I just turned 30 years old and also want to say happy birthday to Osmosis. We're actually sharing a birthday. Osmosis just turned 3, I just turned 30, and I think this is reason enough to be bullish about Osmosis, but that's maybe another seminar. Let's get started talking about general updates, general news about prices, and also macro news. As you can already tell by the prices, yes, we are down in the double digits. We're down 4%, 5%. Actually, Bitcoin and Ethereum are holding up relatively strong. But if you go down into altcoin land, you see Dogecoin down 12%, Tron 10%, Avalanche 11, Shiba Inu 16, double-digit red left and right. Our beloved Cosmos Hub and Atom also down 6% on the week at $6.82. So yeah, people are losing money. It's frustrating. But as I said, I think now is not the time to exit. Now is not the time to give in. Now is the time to double down. And I keep saying that for the past 2 years throughout the bear market. And I hope that once the bull run comes back, you will remember these videos, you will remember my content, my positivity throughout the bull run, and you will hopefully make some money in the bull run, right? Because hopefully I keep you in the game. I keep you excited about crypto, right? That's really my mission. And I'm not here to give you financial advice or here to tell you which coins to buy and how much you should invest and when you're getting rich. This is not what I'm doing. That's not my purpose. My purpose is to educate you and to also educate your mindset. This is really what crypto is all about, 90% mindset, so that you can take smarter decisions. And you'll also probably take wrong decisions like I do, right? I took a lot of bad investment decisions, but all you need in crypto is a couple of good decisions because they actually have potential to do 100x. And in my view, the life-changing chart to look at for this cycle is this chart, the altcoin chart excluding BTC and ETH. And what people are getting really scared and freaked out about right now is this red candle here. We've seen worse, to be honest, but they're getting scared about this red candle and calling death upon altcoins, which is crazy to me. I personally think that this chart can easily hit a $10 trillion market cap. We're at 600 billion now, but this can easily 15 to 20x. And if that happens, if I'm right, then this means there's countless 100x opportunities right now today where you just need to pull the trigger, do your research, be fundamentally convinced about XYZ coin, about XYZ industry. And there's a lot of different verticals, infrastructure layers like restaking, modularity, but also consumer layers like metaverse, NFTs, gaming, right? All of these narratives, in my view, all of these categories are going to have their run and they will pump really hard once their time is coming. And like I said, their time will come, in my personal opinion. Now you can say I'm more bullish on gaming, I'm more bullish on infra, like modularity. So I want to position myself there. Either way, I think you're going to do really well if you pick your category, if you do your research, if you're really deep in the trenches on those things, if you optimize your portfolio also for airdrops and those kind of things, then I think it's very hard to not be profitable in crypto over the next 2 years. Just my personal opinion. We have some more bullish news, some more positive news. which is that the SEC now permanently suspends their investigation into Ethereum. This was communicated by Consensus, which is a core software firm in the Ethereum ecosystem led by Joe Lubin, who is also one of the co-founders of Ethereum itself and close friends of Vitalik. And yeah, that's another win for crypto and another loss for Gary Gensler and the SEC. To be honest, I don't know how many else this guy can still take at this point. He's just losing left and right against everyone and everything in crypto. He lost against Ripple. He lost against the ETF approvals, right? He basically had to approve them, including the Ethereum one that was approved recently, and now is waiting to start trading. So we're still waiting on that. But yeah, looking at the Bitcoin spot ETF, we can see another red day, $140 million in outflows. Out of the past 10 days, I think we only had one green day. Everything else has been down bad. Between $140 million and $220 million in outflows. Only one green day on June 12 here. But yeah, this is just a consolidation here, because if you look before that, we had massive green days. If you zoom out also, cumulatively, we had around $15 billion in net inflows. And also looking at Hong Kong, remember that a couple of weeks ago, they approved both the BTC and the ETH ETF together. Hong Kong now just saw also a record day when it comes to trading volume of over 32.06 million Hong Kong dollars in one single trade session. So that's good to see that this keeps going up. The ETH ETF is imminent. The SEC dropped their investigation into Ethereum. It's all primed for a big bull run year. And we're still in this pre-bull run year, right? I think the actual bull run year is actually going to be 2025 after the election, right? When Donald Trump is going to go back into office, most likely. I'm not a Trump fan, but I'm also not a Biden fan, so I don't really care, to be honest. But Trump is more bullish on crypto, at least in his campaign. What he's then doing later and executing if he gets into power again, that's another seminar. Like I said in a recent video, he had his shot. When he had his presidency for 4 years, he didn't do anything. He didn't do shit, to be honest. But now he's very vocal about crypto and is basically trying to gain the crypto voters on his side. What he'll do with it is another question. But yeah, that's all about that. And yeah, sometimes it just pays to be Michael Saylor, to be honest. It just pays to be like Michael Saylor. MicroStrategy has now acquired an additional roughly 12,000 BTC for $786 million. This guy's been buying for the past 4 years at $15,000, at $20,000, and also at $65,000. And they're now holding $8.33 billion in BTC that was bought at an average price of $37,000 roughly per BTC. So they are well in the greens, and I think this is going to be the trade of the century, I guess, what this guy is doing. This is going to go down in the history books. So congratulations, Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy. Now let's look more deeper into the Cosmos ecosystem. Like I said, I think now is the time to really, stack your favorite tokens. If you are watching this channel here regularly, then you're probably a Cosmos fan. And there are some really good Cosmos projects at big discounts right now. So you can check that out. If you zoom out here on the monthly chart, you can see that some of these coins are down really, really bad. Similar 54%, Quasar 53%, evmos down bad, 2.4 cents, crazy. Akashnet 48%, Passage 1.5 cents. This is below private sale price, so absolutely nuts. Dymension got slaughtered as well. Sentinel. This is huge discounts across the board. Now, starting with project updates, let's start with Aleph Zero, who are also media partners here at CryptoCito. I've been knowing them for now over a year. I think they're one of the best builders in the space. And they just dropped a huge announcement, which is the launch of their Arbitrum L2. So they're launching an L2 in collaboration with Gelato Network that is going to basically deliver privacy as a service. And they're going to also deploy their own zk privacy stack, their zk technology they have developed. And in that context, they also announced zkOS by Aleph Zero, which is running on that Aleph Zero EVM L2 that is going to be deployed in Q3, so next quarter, latest by September. And as I said multiple times, zk privacy specifically, I think, is going to have a huge season on its own. We also see Namada, Penumbra, and many others that are in that field. And the A0 team also shared this article here, which is not actually an article. It's a very educational and good read about the state of the project, what Aleph Zero actually is. For example, their mission, which is that they want to show that performance doesn't mean sacrificing security or decentralization, basically resolving the blockchain trilemma, and also some stats about the network. that's operating at sub-second finality, runs with almost 170 nodes. We with Stexito are also one of them, so you can delegate your A0 bags to Stexito. It's never got hacked. It uses state-of-the-art technology, hosting Aleph BFT, which is their own peer-reviewed consensus protocol, and also operates on a modular substrate stack, which is basically the equivalent to the Cosmos SDK, but developed by Parity Technologies, which is the parent company to Polkadot. Aleph Zero also has roughly 30 teams, external teams building real products with it, and also some of the largest telecom firms that are validating, like Deutsche Telekom and also Saudi Telecom, and many examples of also applications like Commondex, we also talk about that, and so on and so forth. So what they're writing here is also about privacy in general and the privacy problem, right? Because I think everyone agrees that privacy is a fundamental human right. It's also a core pillar of what we're doing in crypto in the first place, right? It's where the whole crypto movement actually started, right? Bitcoin, the cyberpunk movement, it all comes from this privacy field, privacy background about empowering the individual. And Aleph Zero is one of the teams that is now implementing privacy in the modern crypto world. And what they're saying here is actually a crazy fact or crazy finding of them, which is that they're saying, according to their estimations, there's only less than 50 people in the whole world who truly know how to build client-side zk solutions. And if you think about this, this is absolutely insane. And if you think about this further, right, how many blockchain developers do we actually have? How many validators do we actually have? How many individual human beings are there that are actually able to understand and to run the software and to also know how to fix issues, how to resolve problems, and are as deep in the trenches to understand what are the latest technologies in this space, right? And it's only a handful of people if you break it down. So this number is going to 10x, 100x, 1000x over the next years and decades. I think if you really look at those numbers, instead of just only price movement, they're like, wait a moment, holy shit, we're so early. This is still going to grow exponentially. We're still in the research phase, in the early education phase of this whole industry. And I think then your time horizon also shifts and changes, right? So yeah, they're also listing 5 points here on privacy and some of the things that are lacking here. They're also identifying the EVM as a clear winner here for distribution, which is obviously true. Cosmos is also catching up though a lot and gets implementations left and right. On-chain privacy is also a big issue. Combining the two, and then also fun, which is also something that I hear people from the Aleph Zero community, but also outside, is yeah, they're a bit corporate, they're too stiff, they're too conservative. And they're actually admitting that. They're saying, yeah, we became a bit conservative in the recent months, but we want to be more bold. We want to get more out there. We understand how crypto works, and we need to be at the pulse of innovation. And this was what I've been saying for a long time. If you are building the best technology in the world, it's not going to sell itself. It's also just about communicating what they're building in a more aggressive way, right? And more broader way to reach a broader audience. And in that context, also the fifth one is going to refine the utility of the A0 token itself, talking about also inflation adjustments and those kind of things to just improve the positioning of the A0 token. And yeah, this is good to see. If you want to learn more about the roadmap, you can do that here on the A0 website, alephzero.org/roadmap. And you can see here about both Aleph Zero and also zkOS is listed here, as well as Most, which is their Ethereum bridge that just went live recently, as well as Common, which is their privacy-enabled DEX. Also, and this is one of the steps on how Aleph Zero wants to get rid of their conservative touch, is by onboarding more users and also deploying a airdrop campaign, which is what Alephoria actually is. It's a campaign where you can earn tokens. It's an ecosystem-wide airdrop campaign, on-chain questing, community events. So where the community can really get involved, it activates the community and gamifies and incentivizes members to join, create content, and to bootstrap liquidity and those kind of things. And they're just building out their own ecosystem, right? With the lending protocol like ABAX, Kinsu for liquid staking, Common, I already talked about it. A game is in the works, and so on and so forth, right? So this is all happening, and I love to see how they're building their own ecosystem right there. The token itself, A0, has also been affected by this altcoin purge that's been going on, $200 million FTV. And it's been in a very tight range, though, if you look at it. Did a new all-time low 3 days ago, but in this range between 50 cents and $3, which is a 6x range. And to be honest, in crypto terms, this is nothing. This is a stablecoin range, right? Usually cryptocurrencies have 10, 20x ranges. This is one that launched just when the bear market really kicked in. But yeah, they have survived the bear market, and not only survived it, but are coming out of it very strong. And with these acknowledgements that they made and the products that they have in the pipeline, I think Aleph Zero is going to do really well this cycle. Now let's switch gears and talk about the Cosmos Hub. I talked about it a lot. Obviously, over the years, I also say never fade the Atom. I think Atom has to be part of your Cosmos portfolio, but also it can't be the only token that you're holding if you want to have exposure to Cosmos, right? You need to have exposure to the Celestias out there for modularity, to the same networks for EVM, and to akash for compute, and to fetch for AI, and Stargaze for NFTs, and like the list goes on, right? Whichever vertical you think makes sense, that you're fundamentally convinced of, then you can position yourself and build a basket of Cosmos tokens, right? Osmosis also definitely, in my opinion, has to be in there. And there's many others, right? This is not an official list. I'm just naming a few projects on top of my head. But yeah, I also understand as a crypto YouTuber, people always interpret my words the way they want. And then they go in the comments and they're really angry about it and type things and make up stuff and whatever. Anyways, that's up to you. And that's going to be your problem if that's your interpretation. But yeah, that's another topic as well. In any case, consumer chain onboarding is going to get a lot easier with Informal Inc.'s new proposal about making it entirely permissionless. This has been one of the biggest bottlenecks because up until now, consumer chain onboarding, which means for new chains to be Atom secured, they have to go through a full-on tedious, long, inefficient process of governance, right? On-chain governance. Now, Informal is trying to make that in a permissionless manner, which scales adoption for shared security, which also strengthens the positioning of the Cosmos Hub as the best chain to launch a chain, the best provider chain to launch a consumer chain. We already have a list of chains that want to get Atom secured, like Lorenzo Protocol for Bitcoin liquid staking, like Elis Network as a perp stacks, Aether as an EVM hub, Landslide for AVAX restaking, and there are a couple more in the works. Also, there's talks about migrating existing chains like Region Network, maybe even Stargaze, that was also a point of discussion a couple of months ago, and Secret Network as well, right? And those kind of chains, right, that have been around for many years but have relatively low economic security, and they want to get rid of their own kind of validator incentive mechanism, they can just plug into the Cosmos Hub through PSS. It's now going to get a lot easier. And I think with the fact that Babylon integration is lined up and also potentially an eigenlayer integration, the Cosmos Hub could further boost its value proposition by also offering BTC and ETH security alongside Atom security. Also, we have another big proposal that is coming in mid-July, which is adding CosmWasm, basically permissioned smart contract capabilities. What that unlocks is it basically means we can deploy stuff like DAO, which is a decentralized DAO tooling that would allow a lot of interesting use cases for different verticals, and also for doing upgrades faster and smoother, right? And in the context also of the end game for shared security, which might be something like mesh security, where blockchains are securing each other, that also is probably going to be a lot easier with permission CosmWasm on the Cosmos Hub. So this is coming mid-July. The signaling proposal was already approved by the community, and now it's all about getting it ready for actually being integrated on-chain. We also have Jordan, who is now part of the Atom Accelerator DAO and the Venture Grants team, which means Jordan is actively reaching out to for teams and projects for the AA DAO to invest in, right? For the Cosmos Hub to basically have a stake in and to be economically aligned with, which is a response to Gregor Zuri's tweet about FED and the DePIN network, where he also said, let's make the Cosmos Hub the DePIN hub. So this is something where Jordan and the ADAO are fitting really nicely into. And yeah, I understand the Cosmos Hub and ADAO are getting a lot of shit, but also from people that are not really active, right? From people that are just complaining all the time anyway. So they just have something to complain. Could they have done a lot of things better? Yes, maybe, for sure. But also, are they doing the best that they can? Yes, they're definitely doing that. And if you have constructive improvement proposals and ideas, then they're always listening to that, and you can always send them a message. So yeah, that's just on the side here. The Cosmos Hub itself also $6.83 now, in my view, is severely undervalued. Like I said, I think once the Cosmos season kicks in, which in my view inevitably is going to happen, Cosmos is still the best probably tech stack in the world, which is why big chains like Better Chain, Celestia, Say Network, Babylon Chain, Nillion, they're all choosing Cosmos to build on. It's not a coincidence. And the Cosmos Hub is still this voluntary shelling point, right? If you want it or not, it still is. And I think everybody should also kind of rally behind, making the Cosmos Hub great again. That's really an initiative. And there's also a clear technical roadmap now. And if you're not following that and you don't know any of that, they're not really in a position to assess the future of the Cosmos Hub. If you're not aware of Babylon integration, PSS, consumer chain onboarding, Hydro, permission cosmosm, if you don't know any of that, then you're not really in a position to assess the future of the Cosmos Hub. We also have cool protocols like inscriptions, asteroids, right? Like people are also not really thinking about that and severely undervaluing that. But in my view, sooner or later, this is going to price in and reflect on the charts. We also had a big launch just recently, and this big launch is by FortyTwo. Congratulations, team, for this big launch. FortyTwo is pushing the Emirates vision over the finish line. If you've been an avid C2 subscriber over the years, then you know and you remember Emirates, which has been this interchain portal, and now FortyTwo is doing exactly that, right? And FortyTwo is not only a portfolio tracker where you can track your APY, your daily yield and monthly yield denominated in USD, but also you have access to opportunities to earn in the Cosmos ecosystem by staking, liquid staking, or lending. You can swap built in right here, also cross-chain swaps. You can buy crypto, and there's also an airdrop farm so that you're not missing out on airdrops again. And I think this is urgently needed, right? To abstract a lot of the complexity away, a lot of this IBC magic, a lot of this Cosmos magic, to just put that on the backseat and just have one place where you can go to and access all of that without having to think, like, which chain am I on? Where's my assets sitting? I can't find them. Which wallet am I using? You can come here, you connect your Kepler Leap, whatever you want, station, Cosmos station, and boom, it's done. So good to see. Congratulations. Obviously, it's still very raw, but yeah, this does have potential to become the interchain portal. And the history of FortyTwo is also very interesting. They actually the founding team met at Cosmos Medellin 2022, and they then also won the pitching competition last year in Istanbul in the depths of the bear market, right? And this is what I really talk about. Like, if you're bearish in the bear markets at the lows and you're surrendering and giving up, then you're not aware of these things happening, right? And this is now 2 years in the making. Last year they won the pitching competition. Now they're launching. Beautiful. That's a great success story. So I'm going to see more of that. Yeah, that's FortyTwo. We also have updates from Passage. Passage has now officially opened its doors to the first wave of alpha users for their virtual world. So Passage is the metaverse of Cosmos, where you can build and deploy virtual worlds and host events digitally. And yes, the metaverse narrative is very cold right now, but it's going to come back 100 million%, in my perspective at least. If you're of a different opinion, then it's your opinion. This is my opinion. And I think it makes sense to be positioned in the best metaverse place there are. And Passage, in my view, not only in Cosmos, but in all crypto, is one of the best metaverse plays with strong connections, a strong team that's been around for many years. I first talked to Lex in August 2021. So it's been a long time, almost 3 years. And yeah, Passage right now is on a huge sale, below private sale, $13 million market cap, 18.3 fully diluted. Absolutely nuts in my opinion. But yeah, once this is coming back, this is actually massive upside material and potential in my personal view, right? This can easily go to $2, $3, $4 in a bull run, right? When Meta and all these traditional huge companies are getting big on metaverse and talking about it all the time nonstop, which is going to come, then I think, yeah, this is going to do really well. Then we also have some updates, like I promised, about dYdX, the first chain to integrate Slinky. And I talked a lot about this also in my interview, Shisha Sito in Dubai, with Charles, the CEO at the dYdX Foundation. What is Slinky bringing now? It brings sub-second price updates and introduces 5,000 new isolated markets, and also lays a foundation for permissionless market creation, which is really good to see. In this fast-moving market that we're now, where tokens are being generated on a daily basis and have tens and hundreds of millions of trading volume, it makes sense for dYdX to also at least build a platform to be able to absorb some of that value and trade volume, if that's what the market wants, right? yeah, I talked about this with Charles, like I said, and I think one thing that people are also really overlooking at dYdX is the fact that if you stake your dYdX tokens on their native Cosmos chain, that you're getting staking rewards in USDC. 12.75% staking APR. Yeah, this is, I think, one of the least talked about features and coolest things in Cosmos. But yeah, that's just on the side. Then, like I said, also happy birthday to Osmosis. We share the same day for our birthday. Their milestones, it's crazy to think it's already 3 years. Their milestone achievements, 43,000 code commits, $34 billion in trade volume, and $15 billion in total IBC transactional volume. They really took IBC to market. They're the ones that took IBC to market. I remember doing a video like early 2021, 5 months before before Osmosis went live, about a tweet that Sunny made, something's brewing. And also I made people aware that they should, stake their Atom, because there might be an Osmo airdrop, which eventually also came. And that was the first airdrop that basically bootstrapped also airdrop culture in Cosmos. And it's been a wild ride since then, honestly, like thinking back 3 years, how Cosmos has grown the interchain to a $50 billion ecosystem almost. We're well on track, I think, for the interchain to really succeed, right? But like I said, people are also now in this phase where prices are going down, they get frustrated, they blame each other. People that have no real experience are presenting their opinions as if they were facts, and people believe it, and people follow that, and there's all these self-declared influencers and KOLs, and it's all kind of weird, but yeah, if you subscribe to CryptoCito, if you subscribe to the Cito Zone, Stake Cito, those are the 3 best sources that you can follow to stay up to date on all things Cosmos and the interchain. Then I think you're well prepared with your mindset, not only like knowledge about news and updates and fundamentals, but also with your mindset, because all of our team members, whether it's at CryptoCito or at Stake Cito, we're all in a similar mindset. That's also why we work together so well, is because we see this long term. We're not getting flushed out by short-term drama, price movements, and all these kind of things. But you kind of have to be hungry for fundamental education about this field, right? Like I am on a daily basis. I talk to teams, I get educated myself, and I'm sharing my learnings with you guys here on this channel. And there's also, by the way, an interesting proposal right now on Osmosis that is going to pass in just a few days, which is the smart account proposal, enabling smart accounts. And I think this is going to unlock a lot of use cases, and also it's going to abstract a lot of complexity away. Yeah, this is going to launch a new era, and I think Osmo at this levels is severely, severely undervalued, in my personal opinion, but that's just me. There's also another proposal, I think, about deploying a fee-free Bitcoin bridge, also NBTC revenue shares. So they're all eyes now on Bitcoin alignment, BTC the asset, but also Bitcoin security through Babylon, which would make Osmosis technically a Bitcoin L2. It's still in Cosmos L1 and always will be, but by also being secured by BTC, technically they can say that they're a Bitcoin L2. Now I have some four quick news that I want to share, and then I want to wrap it up. Number one, Stars token is now listed on PancakeSwap. Stargaze, the premier NFT marketplace in the Cosmos, home to Bad Kids NFTs and also Celestine Sloth. So this is definitely one, if you're excited about NFTs, that you should look into. Then we have Drop. Drop.money is a new liquid staking protocol deployed on Neutron, developed by none other than Lido. Lido, the most successful crypto application there is. And they announced Pool Party, which is a group of composed Drop contributors, DeFi protocols, and industry-leading firms aimed to unlock billions in economic potential within the interchain. And they're going to announce their partners and Pool Party members over the coming weeks. So keep an eye on that as well. Then we also have news from Initia, which is currently in week 6 of their 8-week testnet program. And they put out 9 rollups to keep an eye on, to study. And to be honest, I have to do my homework on those myself. The only one I know here is Milky Way. And I also have invested a small ticket into Milky Way, the recent round. But yeah, Milky Way is the one I know. That's a liquid staking protocol as well. That's tailored to the modular economy. And the others, I actually have to do my research. So yeah, definitely one to keep an eye on. Initia itself is going to have a big impact. We're also going to do our best to be there with Stake Cito in the validator set. And actually, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like I said, the best thing you can really do right now is to obviously not get washed out, but it's a no-brainer. But stay subscribed to CryptoCito. Follow the Cito Zone on Twitter. follow Stakecito, everything we're pushing out there. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys very soon. Until then, stay safe and be good.